Java on the Hattori.
Okay. And so MegD decided to play extraordinarily well today. You know, I was telling you earlier, I'm a bit surprised by it, but I also think Java has been playing really well. I feel like today's Java versus today's MegD, I still am fearful for MegD, especially with the head-to-head that he has. I'm like, I don't know if today's going to be one of those days. We're going to find out, though. But so far, I mean, it's looking all Java.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the first initial hits. Nice swap over to the spear. Neutral air, not going to connect. Too many iframes on that aerial spot dodge, but that was a dodge down.
God. Wow, yeah. That's what Java does, man. That's what Java does. It's hard to avoid.
It's just insane because, oh, okay, he's good. There's so many times where, like, okay, they're playing hot neutral, and then Java sees that opportunity, and he hits the NOS and just goes.
Yeah, yeah, it's like if he feels an opportunity to make it a one-player game, it really clicks for him. And for MegD, that stinks. But have to not put yourself in the situations, or, you know, just got to make better dodges. But this should be a good start here. You could do another one. Oh, I thought he was going to gravity cancel side sig into the stage and almost lost his stock for not going for that. But despite that, MegD doing a pretty good job here of trying to bring things back. Admittedly, Java still has a pretty healthy lead here, and that wasn't enough to get the KO on its own. MegD definitely probably a little bit sad behind that, but it's okay.
That was a weird option, going for the gravity cancel down heavy instead of neutral heavy. I think most people go for neutral heavy because of that vertical launch and that extra force compared to, like, recovery. Oh, no. Didn't get caught there, but still taking a lot of damage. Dodges up.
Ooh, wow, that reaction was great from Java. Just narrowly getting through, but still getting caught by the side air on the way out. Nice little swap of weapons here as well. You know, a daylight recovery is probably in the near future on one of the sides of these people.
Ooh, went for it unarmed. MegD, different sword. Gonna try to unarmed take down Java. Nope. Over to the gauntlets now. Neutral light, not gonna do it.
Forces Java low, but I don't know if he's gonna go off stage here. He's being patient. Wow, and the tail end of the sword recovery is able to catch Java post dodge. Just good following from MegD and great timing as well.
Yeah, had enough active frames on that recovery and was able to kind of block off the path that Java wanted to take. Java struggling to get a weapon here. I know he's got great unarmed, but you're not seeing him really, like, push unarmed towards MegD.
We'll see here, can MegD, you know, make the bleeding stop a little bit here. It's kind of a pivotal stock for him in this match, and that's a great start. Tries to go for a little bit of read, and almost loses the stock for it. The recovery's not enough. Java, though, gonna just do that side sig. Yeah, you get so scared about neutral light, D-light, that he's just like, what if I just ran up and just pulled up, you know? It's, hey, throw an egg at your house. Is anyone home?
It's so hard to clean off.
It really is. On the window?
In this economy? Java, though, like, I think he does a lot to put on the mental stack, right? Like, he's just showing all these different threats, and eventually, like, one of them is going to surprise MegD because he can't be ready for everything.
Yeah. Or I guess he could, but he's not.
Yeah,
you know, that's really what it is. The mix-ups are strong. A nice little interruption there from Java, geez, and then just stealing the turn and the advantage. But MegD finally answers back here, gets a little bit of advantage for himself. And maybe the stock here, he just needs to throw. I thought he was going to put that side air because he saw Java use that stock a little bit earlier. There was, like, almost no harm in going for it, but wanted to play a little bit closer to the stage, I guess. Still the moment here.
Light recovery, not quite enough.
Ooh, good job. He's like, I'm not jumping, boy. Nice.
Okay. That time it will KO. That's what MegD was hoping for. You can see the way that he was posturing just outside neutral light range. He was trying to get Java to come in, swing with a neutral light or a side air, and then punish.
Yeah, really just did a great job of playing to his own win condition there, right? Like, there was a bit of a moment where it's like you're trying to bait MegD in, but he's the guy with all the patience. And so you kind of saw what happens when you kind of forget who you're up against to some degree.
Okay, good side air. Catches him, and Java doesn't need to do anything else. He's going to take game number 1. Downlight ends it.
Man. Java really kind of...
Just like that.
When it looks convincing, you know? I don't know what MegD's plan is going to be going into this game, too.
Honestly, like, all things considered, Java had an explosive start, and MegD still managed to get it down to final stocks, and then Java had a relatively explosive finish. I think as much as it's probably MegD's play style and game plan, it's just he's going to try to keep that chip away going and not let those explosions happen.
Yeah, part of me wonders if, like, it's just a matter of who gets the lead first, and MegD has been the one to fall behind first in the games that we've seen thus far, and just, like, has a tougher time. I think forcing MegD approach, most people will tell you, is, like, it makes him, I don't want to say play worse, it's just he's much better at playing defensively. But we've seen over the years, I think one of the biggest parts of his game that he has adapted is the ability to aggress. And so it doesn't mean auto loss or anything, but people's strengths are still their strengths.
Yeah, absolutely. He definitely has situations that he's more comfortable in. Oh, good dodge there through the side air. Gonna get some good damage. That's a burn dodge from Java, but MegD not gonna challenge.
Nice. And maybe he's gonna wait a little bit. Oh, and tries to get that recovery again, but actually we see a dodge right there, so MegD doesn't have the chance. Can't be able to get that juggle. Just drifting far enough away. The Hattori speed really coming in clutch there in terms of MegD not being able to quite get there in time. But the attempt was smart.
All right, good catch from Java there. MegD's dodge was still down, so go in clean and simple. Sidelight kicks MegD away. MegD had some decent damage put out onto Java, but Java's managed to take back that health lead.
Yeah, finally got it down to the point now where it's like, no one's really in the lead. The lead is determined by who gets the stock first. And so MegD, wanting to be that person, has had Java in the corner for quite a while. And honestly, despite the fact that he hasn't really been able to KO Java, he does a pretty decent job of retaining the advantage. Slowly but surely enough, he will end up losing the stock. And speaking of, almost gets it right there with the recovery.
I know some people are going to hate this analogy, but it feels very similar to Kaina in a way, where like Kaina was finishing off with Axe Neutralize, right? He just gets enough damage that it'll finish off. MegD's doing the same thing, but on Val, who does not have the same level of strength.
Yeah, I feel like MegD kind of was like a similar approach to the game as far as like game plan, but the execution looks very different.
Yeah.
And so, you know, with Kaina, there's a lot of I'm in your face, a lot of shoulder, a lot of chest, you know. With MegD, it doesn't quite look like that, but the end result ends up looking very similar by the end. And then on the other side, you have Java, who just, he's a weird one to describe in terms of the way he moves, because it does look almost like robot-esque at moments.
He's like this weird, like, ever-changing blob, right? Like, there's times where he's, like, super aggressive, times where he kind of backs away. He just does whatever fits the situation best for him. Down light, nice. Side air. Pogo?
He's waiting.
Hey, Pogovers. Down light, recovery.
Ooh, big drop. And the Sayer, I think, works there as well. Just so much damage on MegD, but you don't want to see a Spear player dropping D-Light anything at this point, right? You have Royale spot on the line, and it's like, wow, D-Light recovery is what I'm dropping. That's a different level of frustration, but Java is up one in the set already and hasn't lost his stock yet, so I'm sure he's able to just walk it off.
Okay, side air weapon toss. He's going out there. Ooh, recovery.
Jeez.
He just wants damage.
What is this Val been eating, bro?
She been surviving. That's what, like MegD had that game earlier where he had, like, borderline 700 damage taken.
I was like, what the heck, bro? Val looking like a Kaya. Okay, you can see Java slowing things down. Gets Ka here. MegD gonna wait on stage again, maybe. No, tries to go aggressive. Oh, that kind of works out in favor of MegD. Yeah, a little bit lucky on that one in some ways.
Still a little bit of a damage deficit, but honestly, they're both at that KO percent where it doesn't super matter.
Yeah, exactly. Even if you lose the stock here, you don't really feel too bad about it. Oh, no recovery on reaction, but gets the D-Light.
Caught the landing.
MegD's going to be the first one to get that second stock. But I want to see how long you can keep it, though, right? You've been fighting so hard not to lose the stock while you guys were even, and then Java goes and comes back with a fresh stock, and you immediately lose it. So really, it didn't matter at all that you got it first.
Well, now they're both going to pull out their pocket knives and try to start whittling away at each other. Both of them sitting fresh on their final stocks here in game number 2. MegD obviously wants to tie this one up.
Oh, nice dash to the side from MegD there to avoid the recovery and also get more damage. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, when MegD wants to aggress sometimes, he really just gets it. Java being put in a tough spot. MegD getting 2 unanswered hits there, and Java really needs to get a dodge read to bring things back here. MegD keeps slicing away at this lead, but Java's been reading the jumps. Jeez.
MegD's starting to get a pretty sizable lead here. The big question is, can he finish off this stock? That's where he's been struggling a little bit.
It's true. And you can see how Java's really spacing around these like diagonal weapon tosses, but MegD's still finding a way around here, and Java, disarmed, has to get around MegD. Somehow MegD one D-Light recovery away from winning this. Might even throw out that Val end sig if he wants to keep Java on his toes. So now Java has a lot of things to look out for here. And it's just going to be a side air, I think.
Oh,
the weapon throw
toss
guarantees it, and MegD wins game 2 over Java.
Ooh, this is going to be a scrap. They are going to go the distance at this rate. MegD and Java going back and forth.
Yeah, and MegD's movement is good enough that Java is still scared to throw out some hitboxes. You know, we've kind of seen it a little bit earlier where like people are either stacked or on top of each other in a scenario that's too fast to react to, it can feel like. And MegD just able to get a little bit more of a lead that ended up being a lot more of a lead. Now I'm curious as to how Java's going to adjust in the coming games. But really, I mean, the difference, I think, was in those extended punishes that we saw in game 1. Those were not existent in game 2.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's interesting in the sense that, like, we know Java has insane offstage.
Yeah.
Like, that's where he's been popping off today. And I think MegD is doing a really good job of not allowing any of that.
This is true. It really makes me think about that set versus Pier, where it was just like every single time he got above you, you lost the stock. That is ridiculous, right? And so hopefully Java is able to either recreate some of that magic or just do something, but we're sticking with the Hattori. Been wondering if maybe he's been thinking about flirting with Bodvar a little bit more as other regions have been playing more Hammer, but I think at this point he might be a bit locked into this Hattori that he's invested a lot of time into at this point.
I think really, like, there's no reason to switch besides to make people like me happy who are just like, I just liked his Bodvar a lot.
I'm with you on that. Here we go. Game 3. Java trying to send a response to MegD. MegD, though, you know, had a pretty dominant ending to that game, too. Really was able to just get that lead and keep it and find openings on Java while Java couldn't on MegD. So keeps playing like that. It's not going to be great for MegD, but Java shows that he can win neutral 2 times here now. Doesn't get the reads on the follow-up, but he's winning nooch.
He's getting some hits in, but MegD getting some nice extension there. 3-piece coming out. Gets over. Dare. Recovery. MegD getting a little bit more off the neutral wins.
Yeah, more damage per engagement for sure there. It definitely hurts when you get 2 opportunities to get big damage and you only get 1 hit, and MegD gets 1 and then hits you 5 times. Like, that's kind of tough to reconcile, I'll say. But despite it, like, oh man, I think gets caught by the side zig as well. And this is a pretty healthy stock as far as Vals go. You know, you see orange, you're like, oh, that person's not living for a long time. But Val can take quite a bit more, right? I mean, even now, getting hit 2 times and still slightly orange, you know?
I mean, it's also MegD on Val, who we saw go deep red. Like, he's definitely got some room here.
Yeah, he knows that part of extending a stock as long as possible is making sure that you eat as many sword end lights and side lights as you can, and just keep getting hit by like nairs and stuff like that. Stuff that isn't gonna make you lose your stock immediately, but sure will add up over time, but better than getting hit by like a GCD light.
For sure. Ooh, chasing. Went a little too close to Java there. That recovery gonna connect. Jumps over the side sig. Java swinging.
Oh, I don't even know how to feel about that interaction. That means that Java's D-Light was just either a little bit too early and the hitbox stopped right before that side air connected with his foot. That's a good break for MegD because you knew he was at least getting 1 more hit because of that.
Yeah, got to extend that stock a little while longer. Another chance. Got up there with the recovery.
Yes. MegD swinging in scenarios where Java wouldn't expect him to because he has so much damage racked up. And because of that, MegD, you see that reaction dodge down right in the middle, right in the iris of the ground pound to go back up and punish with the D-Light recovery. That was sick from MegD, who is just playing out of his mind. Finally gets that gravity cancel and light edge guard he's gone for at least like 3 or 4 different times today. It is all MegD's game now.
Dude, MegD really coming alive here in game number 3, sitting on 3 stocks, Java on 1. He almost got that downlight, which could have gotten the stocks, but there we go. Downlight, GC neutral heavy.
Okay, yeah, I feel like Java is one of the few people I've seen doing that in NA. We saw a lot of that in South America, but Java making sure to represent that here in the States as well. So, MegD, are you going to be able to continue all of this momentum? You can see like things have slowed down, but also MegD has a lead, and MegD plays so much better with a lead that I'm like, if you're behind by this much, Java, I don't know if it's too late for you. We're gonna see. He's trying, but just gets absolutely clobbered by MegD.
Yeah, I think MegD's got a lot of confidence right now because he has such a lead. He's pushing a little bit harder towards Java. Not gonna go off stage. NSIG thrown out. That'll get punished. Last NSIG we'll see from MegD forever.
Yeah, I know. Well, never be too sure. There we go. MegD looking basically to close this game out now. And maybe a little bit too hastily trying to do so, I'll say, because Java's been able to get quite a few hits here and there, but still might be too late for him. We'll see. Recovery isn't going to be enough, but another one definitely will. D-Light recovery is on the table as well.
Whoa!
Oh, he wanted the slide kick for certain there. Oh, that's a little bit tough there. Gets that down air into the platform, but doesn't look stuck for it, right?
Okay, gets the side stick. That was a disco. So I think because I thought he did double down light and then went for a ground pound that ledge canceled to a disco.
What? We gotta have.
Yeah, we're gonna need the replay on that one.
Replay.
Deep red though. Okay, Java. Oh, that spot dodge was so good, but he didn't commit to his gravity cancel out of it.
Oh, I like that side air. Okay, nice game. MegD ended up getting down to yellow on his final stock there, so not too bad, but it did look kind of convincing throughout the game. The flow of the match did favor MegD pretty much the entire time, which makes me a little bit worried as we go into this 4th game, because I don't really know what the answer is going to be there.
Yeah, I mean, really, the thing that stands out to me is MegD he's showing more of the kit and having more success with it, right? Like, he showed level 1, and then, like, the boss, without even taking too much damage, went to phase 2. He started getting that, like, off-stage gravity cancel neutral light. You started seeing him throw out a couple more SIGs that were, some of them hit, and Gauntlet neutral one didn't. But still, like, you're starting to see him show more and show kind of what's underneath the hood of all the things that he can do.
Yeah, it's really terrifying when you start feeling more comfortable to throw out signatures, because then in that moment you're signaling to your opponent that, like, hey, you're not punishing me hard enough that I feel like I can just kind of dance around you and do things and not be scared of getting hurt much for it. And so if MegD's looking comfortable, which, like, you don't want MegD to feel comfortable. You just don't. You want him running at you. But Java's had it the other way around, and it's not been a good look.
Well, one more opportunity here for Java as we get ready to get in this next one. He's going to ban out APOC. Does not want that instead. He wants soft platforms. Enigma, Western Air Temple, Miami Dome.
Okay, and you know what? I believe I saw Miami Dome being the final one that they locked in there. And so this should be really cool, because I think that Java does really well at platforms. I'm inclined to agree. I'm kind of with him in terms of leaving those stages on the table. I think he just can move a lot faster than everyone else, right? Like I've been saying that as far as dash landing changes go, I think he's the player in North America that got buffed the most, but we'll see if that buff was enough.
Yeah, I've also noticed, like, he's done a lot of intentional ledge cancels. He's also had a lot of unintentional ledge cancels, but he's done a lot of very intentional, like, extensions on specifically, like, spear ledge canceling downlights to get extra height.
Yes, which has been very nice. And I'm wondering if he's going to be able to, like, extend that on a stage like this. I mean, MegD, I don't know, man. He's behind by a little bit now. I think overall the platforms seem to be favoring Java slightly, but there's a level of comfort with this stage and kind of like weaving in like a U between the platforms that MegD is very comfortable doing, that I think is probably just something I didn't consider from kind of some of the olden days when he was trying to avoid getting hit on this stage.
Yeah, you'll see some people like to weave in kind of that U shape like you're talking about. Oh, off stage. MegD.
Oh, he's so patient too.
Oh, they get back up safely. Nice. Got a two-piece there.
Yeah, you know, doesn't have the chance to get the stock in that situation, but was able to get some guaranteed damage and get out on skates. So, all in all, a good trade for you.
Dude, Java is struggling to find a follow-up off that side light.
I know, and that, like, when you're not able to get beautiful side sync from Java.
Nice, yeah.
When you're not able to get those side lights into a follow-up, it can make you feel like you're playing half the weapon sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, it really can be such an integral part of your punish game, but that's cool. He'll be all right.
Woo! He'll make it work. All right, recovery. Nair back onto the stage. Still hanging out there, unarmed.
Okay. And so far, it's like a good game 4 for Java. Definitely on pace here to bring this to a game 5. Already has MegD in the yellow on his second stock. Looking for a weapon spawn. Going to be able to grab it here and get across. Ooh, but that punish was late from Java, and MegD recognized that and was able to get a free hit in. Yeah,
he had so much time to get behind him, throw out that side air. Couldn't quite catch the landing, but you can see he was positioning for a side air. Nice aggression coming out from Java on the unarmed.
Oh, dodges right into the tail end of that end light. But should be able to get a touch here, trying to figure out how to finesse his way back, and MegD's like, you won't, and just chops him right off the top with a neutral air. So that goes to show just how much damage Java had at that moment.
You got the first 4 letters. Let's say the rest, but MegD coming back in here with the gauntlets. He's keeping this one even. Like, Java looked good at the start, and now it looks like it's basically even.
Okay. Uh-oh. Yeah, Java falling apart a little bit here ever since MegD was able to get that stock. Needs to get some sort of momentum established, and I don't know if he will. He's getting some chops here. There's a great moment, and then MegD gets to turn around and the dodge, and Java's just trying to get away. Retreats to the platform. Nice little coordinates that the stage gives, but do that too often, and MegD's going to punish you for it.
Yeah, but MegD backed away. He was instead opting for a weapon swap. Oh!
Yeah, nah, he really made Java feel like the floor was lava.
Yep.
And so that's just kind of a tribute to how amazing MegD is at catching landings, that Java was willing to get sweat beaded before making the choice to touch the floor. And so, man, MegD really got him scared. He shook.
Yeah, starting to look like Java's mental is falling apart here. Can't go in for that ground pound. Not going to connect. MegD just needs to take one more stock off of Java, and he's going to be coming to the Autumn Royale.
And if you're Java right now, you got to be thinking, I can't count myself out until this game is over. But every hit from MegD concusses you that much more. Oh, he's trying to get around. Takes that off the dome as well. Needs like a spear or something. There it is, but a little too late perhaps. He's already in the orange on his final stock. He needs to find MegD's second stock right now. Every chop MegD does is one more step closer to saying goodbye to Java at the Royale.
Java narrowly gets the wall touch, gets a pogo. He's fighting here for his tournament life. Final stock deep red. He is in downlight KO territory.
There's a certain degree of clutch Java got to be right now that I don't know if he's showing me signs of having in him. Has to check himself for that dog.
I was going to say check him genes. Does he have the clutch gene? He does not. MegD going to take it out 3-1, denying that 20 victories that Java wants. Instead, it's going to change to 19-12.
Yes. Yes. Shout outs to MegD for putting another one on the board there, right? And very deep history of head-to-head, and it looks like it's going